Delighted to welcome Henning Berg as a guest today. Henning, you were the first player to win the Premier League with two clubs, and obviously you won a lot more. But how would that Blackburn Rovers squad compare with the Manchester United team who you joined? Because Blackburn were obviously a cracking team. They'd beaten United to the league title.
Yes, no, it's always difficult to compare different teams. It was not so long time ago. These two teams played, with 99 with United and 95 with the Blackburn Rovers. But a little bit different style of play, a little bit more physical Blackburn team, a little bit more different, more defensive, counter-attacking, but also good enough to score enough goals and to win matches and dominate also, but dominate in a more physical way than Manchester United were dominating more with the speed and the technique and the quality and the more possession domination.
And Henning, what do you remember of the treble season? Obviously, it came quickly after you joined United. Is there anything overriding that sticks out for you?
Yeah, well, there are many things in that season because that was a very, very special season, I think, for me, but also for everybody. I think I was a United for 3 years, and I think the 6 months from January till the end of the season or to the May, or I got injured in end of April, but until then, that was my best period at United. I played my best football. The team was winning more or less all the games, and everybody within the squad were playing matches and contributing to making sure that it was possible to win three trophies at the same time. So it was, I don't know, you can go into different games and this and that, but I think for me the special thing was the team spirit, the success, the winning, the week in, week out, some unbelievable tight calls, late goals scored, and just the momentum from January till finally the Champions League final to win it in extra time. It was just like an unbelievable travel.
What was it like playing alongside Jaap Stam? You had some fine games together. What did he bring out in your game, and what was Jaap like as a player? What did he do well, and what was he like as a person too?
Firstly, as a person, he was a great guy. He came with the confidence and in his own ability. He mixed very, very well with the other players. He was good to socialize with the team and to be part of the group. And then, for sure, on the pitch, he was physically massive. He dominated the challenges. He dominated the strikers. He was okay pace, so he did not have any problems with the tempo and in the beginning either. And also with the ball, he was better than people thought with his big physique. So as a player, he was one of the best ones. As a person, he was a very good guy.
That game against Inter stands out for me in terms of Stam when he bounces Zamorano off him. He's backing into him and he just sort of bounces off him. And also you made a crucial clearance in that game in the home leg and then also in the away leg with a sort of bicycle kick. I just wondered, were they sort of particular standout moments? Because for United fans, and I was following that season as a fan, that they're moments that really stand out as kind of crucial, sliding doors moments almost that could have gone the other way if you weren't to intervene.
Yeah, I think there were many situations like this for many different players at United at this time. We had some unbelievable late goals to finish matches. I remember Ryan Giggs also scored very close to the end in the semi-final to Juventus to make it, I don't know, what's this, 1-1?
1-1, yeah.
Yes, and then if this didn't happen, it would have been very, very difficult to go through in the second leg. So I think this Inter Milan game, for me, I think most people, United fans, if they will ever think of me, it will be for one of these two situations. That I think that is what they do remember, and but for sure, it's enjoyable to be part of this when things goes well. And as a defender, you will not score too many goals, but if you can save some goals, then you will be happy.
Henning, you're in Cyprus now and doing well, top of the league. If you could have one player from that Manchester United team who you played with in their prime, playing with you in Cyprus, when things get back to normal, You've obviously got a lot of world-class players to play with. Money's not a problem. They all want to come and play for you. Who you take into Cyprus, age 27?
It's a difficult one because what does our team need? I would say maybe one of the best players I played with at this United team. Okay, Roy Keane was one of the most important players throughout the season because he had the ambition, the drive to get players with him. When we needed to score goals, he can join in and help to score goals. When we needed to defend, he can drop back and he defended as well. So he was like the box-to-box overall performer. Then for sure you have goal scorers like Dwight York and Andy Cole. You have wide players and creative players like David Beckham, Ryan Giggs. You have post goals in the middle who can do everything with the ball and play fantastically with the players. So it's very, very difficult. In Omonia now we are doing quite well, as you said, and we are on a good way. What we would like to do is maybe score even more goals. So I probably would have picked for what we need in our team now. Andy Cole, I think, would have been perfect in his prime. I think we would definitely have won the league then. That is for sure.
And Henning, sort of another kind of question in terms of management, and I guess something you might have picked up from Sir Alex, but I read in his books that he, to kind of cope with the number of games that they had, he obviously had to balance the squad and rotate, and also would tell players ahead of time matches that they weren't going to play in, but then, in 3 weeks' time, the match that they were going to play in, to kind of keep that motivation going. And I just wondered, how did that sort of feel as a player in yourself? Obviously, I know you got injured towards the end of it, but I guess you must have had moments like that with you. And what was the key to maintaining that momentum that you talk about earlier?
For sure. I mean, he was one of the first to actually start to rotate because, United had many more games than most because we did well in Europe more or less every year. So I think there was an acceptance from the players that most of us or many of us would not play every game. Some players would play more or less everything, and then others would need to rotate. And when you are at a big club like United, you have to accept it. You don't like it because every player would like to play every time. And when United have so many matches throughout the season, then you have to accept that you will not play every match, even though some of the players, they did play most of the matches, and other players have to rotate. I think it was an acceptance from this. And when you are having success, when you win most of the matches, for sure it's easier to accept it. The problem is when you do a lot of rotation and you are not successful, you don't win matches, then you will create a much, much bigger disappointment with the players because everybody thinks they should be playing because the team is not winning. So when you keep winning, rotation is no problem.
What are your memories, Henning, of Sir Alex ahead of key games in that treble winning season? I've spoke to lots of your teammates. Andy Cole, for example, said at halftime in Turin he was completely calm about everything. He didn't give any sort of Churchillian speeches. What was he like? How did you read what he was like before huge games, which were coming twice a week? And have you taken that into your own work now as a manager?
It's difficult to copy anybody, so I try to learn from everyone I've had. I had some very, very good managers. I was very fortunate. For sure, for Sir Alex Ferguson was one of the best in his leadership. Was by far the best in terms of his overall leadership of the group and how we controlled the most things. During the matches, I think when we got towards the end, when we had so many matches and so big games, I don't think he changed, but he was more focused and knowing that he controlled his emotions better in terms that he knew there were many, many matches to go. He knew the importance of every match. And I think he found a very, very good balance in terms of motivating the players and when to push up and when to ease down. So for me, I've seen him more emotional in other games before this period. And probably after this period as well. During this period, maybe because we were winning so much, he was fine-tuning things more than making the big waves. So I think the results and the performances for sure also added to this.
He spoke very well of you, but I'm sure there were moments where your relationship wasn't all sweetness and nice. Did you ever have a hairdryer from him?
Yes, for sure. I was there for 3 years, so there was 1 or 2 times, I think maybe once, where I really got it. When I came to Manchester United, I had hair. When I left, I did not have any hair. So, and it was only 3 years, but no, he's a good guy, and he's emotional, which is good because you know where you stand. And when you are doing well, nobody will give you more confidence. Nobody will help you more than what he does. So he did a fantastic job, a brilliant job. And for sure, as a manager, you have to sometimes be strong. And sometimes he was strong. It was not a problem.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously cut in the same kind of cloth as Sir Alex. I think Henning is fair to say. At least he's trying to do the same kind of things at United now. Did you see that he could be a manager when you were playing alongside him? And what are your thoughts on the job that he's doing right now at United?
Well, I think he's doing a very good job in a very difficult circumstances with the high expectation, with the team that needed to change, both in terms of quality, different type of qualities in the players, but also I think from the mentality point of view, I think they are trying to correct this. I think they are going in the right way. I think the signings they did in the summer were good. And I think they are looking better now. I think they are in a much better place as a group, as a team, as a club than they were a couple of years ago, even though results-wise, a couple of years ago, they finished the league in the second position. So, but if you have to look at the overall picture, if you have looked at how you develop, how you want to be the top team, I think they are on a good way. And I think they for sure need more players in, but I think the way they are working is good. With Ole, when you're playing with him, you always knew football-wise he was clever. When you watch him on the pitch and you train with him, he was thinking all the time how he could get into goal-scoring positions, and he had the mentality to be best when he needed to. When the chance came, he would score. So he did not only have the skills, he also had the mentality to be precise when he was needed. And this is also good to take into your management. And I think when I was at United, he was not one of the leaders in the group. Later, I think at United, when he was there longer time, I think maybe he became one of the leaders. And this will give him a lot of experience. At the same time, he was also the reserve team coach, which helped him a lot. And for sure, the two years in Norway where he were able to practice his way of working as a manager was very good for him. And I know it's been difficult at United, but I think he's done well.
That's fascinating, Henning. Do you speak to him much at all? Like, did you know him? Obviously, you're international teammates as well as club teammates. Do you speak to him now?
I don't speak to him too much, to be honest. Last time I spoke to him, I think, was when we played each other in Norway just before he left United. But right. That's a year and a half ago now, I think. So
how did that one go? Who won that match?
Yes, I'm happy you asked, so I didn't have to tell it myself. We actually beat them 3-1, and so it was a good day for us.
And what about your compatriot, the Iceman, Mr. Johnson? What were his qualities? What was he like?
Top man. He has a personality. He's one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. I not heard him say a bad word about anybody yet. Maybe when he gets old and grumpy, he will do, but not for now. And he's a great guy. On the football pitch, he is so selfless. He do everything for the team. He played in any position throughout his career. He even started out as a striker. So I think his speed, his physical level was very, very good. His technique with the ball is also good. And then when he started to play as a central defender for a few years, he learned this position, and then he got better tactically. And at his best, I think he was one of the best central defenders in Europe at his prime.
Could I ask a little bit about Erling Haaland then, actually, Henning? If you obviously were managing over in Norway when he was playing, perhaps, do you have memories of him and what he's done since? Has it surprised you?
Yeah, he came on in that game against Molde when we beat them last time I saw Ole. So he did not score in this game.
But, well, there you go, rarity.
But he was only 17, so it's okay. No, I think he's a super talent. He's a phenomenon. When you are so young and you have this physique and you have this understanding of space and timing and movement at this age and this maturity to be he's not only just a good player, he's a goal scorer with a big physique and the power. So how you can combine everything into one is very strange. You don't see this very often. You see some top players with the unbelievable qualities, but he has so many of them. And that makes him special. And the only question for now, is he able to handle it? Can he continue in the same way as he started? We don't know. We hope so. But what he's done so far at the level he's played is unbelievable, to be honest.
And can I just ask you, it's a crowbar link, but another young player that came through and did brilliantly in his teenage years was Ryan Giggs, and I'm writing a piece on his goal against Arsenal in the '99 FA Cup semi-final.
Yes.
I know he didn't play in that match, but where were you in the stands to watch that goal, or were
yes.
what are your memories of that?
I got injured in the semi-final against Juventus, so I had 1 month out, and I missed some big games towards the end of the season, and I for sure would not have played every of them, but I would have played some of them. So this was difficult for me, but watching Ryan Giggs scoring this goal was unbelievable. It's like the way it happened at this time in the match, in the extra time with 10 men, for him to pick up the ball, for him to keep running, for him to fake the shoot, for him to score the goal, for him to celebrate. It was something to be there live to see. I was very happy because you can watch on TV and look outstanding. You see it live and you don't really believe your eyes.
Henning, quiz question for you. Which of your former Manchester United teammates has also managed in the top division in Cyprus?
You've been checking. You've been Googling now, eh?
I spoke to him yesterday.
Former teammates. I played with them at Man United.
You played with him at Man United, and he's from a very, very, very good footballing family.
I don't think he was a manager. I think he was a sporting director, Jordi Cruyff.
Correct, yeah.
Yes, yes.
You could argue about his influence on the team. I think at one point he was running it, but that's. He said that the fan culture there is really good in Cyprus, and given the small population, the European record's good. What's the fan culture like there, and how does it compare with English fan culture? How did you find playing in front of United fans at those away games where you got 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people all singing your name, and they had a song for you as well? How does it all compare?
Well, I don't know if they had the song for me, but no, it's nice to have the fans to create an unbelievable atmosphere for the players to raise their game, to get the adrenaline and to really able to play to your best level. So the fans makes the games, and without the fans, it would not be funny. It will be competition, but it would not be as it will not be, for sure not be the same. With the Ammonia here in Cyprus, we are the working class people's team. So we have fans all over the island. It's a small island, but there is more money from investors than there is football players. So our best team is most of the time without Cypriot players in the team. We do have some young players coming through now, so that is good. But the level of the league is much higher than the level of the national team. And in Europe, we are more or less on the same level as Greece when we play in the Europa League or Champions League called group stages. So the league is okay level, it's a good level, with many foreign players, many foreign coaches, and then some Cypriot to also be part of it, but mainly it's foreign players. So when we play away from home, our last match we played Limassol away from home, we had 5,000 people, our supporters. In a away match, we have 5,000 coming to watch the match. It was unbelievable. So
wow.
yeah, so the interest now, because Omonia the last 10 years have been ending 5-6 in the league. Now we are top, so everybody is wanting to see the matches now, and everybody wants to help us to win the league. So it's a good time. Unfortunately, with the COVID-19 virus, it's very difficult times. And we hope that we can find some solution and we can control it and we can get rid of it. And then when everything is healthy, when everything is clear, we can go back to football again. But for now, sure, we need to make sure that people stay healthy.
And just one final one then, Henning. Obviously, you'd like to finish the season and see the title out. But beyond that, would you potentially like to come back to England? Obviously, you've managed in England before. Is that something that you still would like to have ambition for?
Yeah, it was a very short time when I was in Blackburn.
A crazy time, I guess.
It was crazy.
Difficult situation.
It was, but how could I say no to a team that I played in for 7 years with and had so much success as a player? When they asked me, I could not say no. And I knew there was a lot of problems at the club, but I was hoping it was possible to fix it. It wasn't, so that was it. As a coach, as a manager, you like to. The most important thing is that you work in a club where you are able to work the way you would like to do. This is so much more important for me than at which level you work at. And here in Omonia, I'm very, very happy. It's a good club, it's a good cooperation, we have a good fans and we have a good ambition and we are improving all the time. So for me, I'm fulfilling everything I would like to do from a professional level. So at the moment, this is very, very good. And what will happen in the future is not possible to say.
Lovely, that's great. Thank you so much, Henning.
No problem.